Alright, a very good evening to all of you. Welcome to the Amigos Racing League Thursday night races, the road to Spa, and look where we've arrived. We've arrived at Spa. Welcome to Belgium for round 5 of the road to Spa Thursday night Season 3 Championship, bronze difficulty, multi-class. My name is Peter Kasbergen and I'm your host for tonight. I'll be commentating the competition, the race. And we are currently 5 minutes before qualifying, so let me take you through the standings really quickly before we get into qualifying. And so you can see what the standings are before the last race. First we have the hypercars, of course. Double check. Yep, there we go. First in the hypercar standings is Wagner Marquez, who won the first 3 races, was 7th in the last race, but still has 125 points in the championship. Aaron Holloway second in the BMW, 90 points. And of course the winner of the last race, Joseph Attenborough, on position number 3 with 69 points. Equal on points with Carlo D'Orazio, but he didn't compete in the last race. So let's see if he is here today. We'll get to that in a moment. For now, we'll take a quick look at the LMP2 class. LMP2 class led by Adam Locke, 148 points. Second is Oliver Ewig, 109, and Nathan Warren in third, 70 points. Reed Batiste is a bit behind, and Dominic Giese is 5th in with 31 points. The others have not raced, so we'll see how many LMPs turn up tonight. I do think we have a couple of new entries, so let's hope it's more than 4. Well, we go now to the GT3s. GT3 class led by Jeroen Jongen, winner of the first 3 races, 3rd in the last race, 137 points. Sander Jacobs is 116 in 2nd place, and Alessandro Farace 93 points in 3rd place. And of course you can look for your favorite here as well. Let's go quickly to the race, or should I say qualifying, because we of course have not started any race. Here we go. While we take a look at Wagner Marquez, first in Hypercar Championship and also the fastest guy on track, 2:009. Best time is over, well, almost 1.5 seconds ahead of Aaron Holloway in times at the moment. So we'll see where they end up in qualifying with 2 minutes 25 on the clock. Fastest in LMP2 at the moment, Brit Baptiste. 2:06.7. About 4 tenths ahead of Adam Locke. And a bit more ahead of Sean Schutte. LMGT3 class, where we see Sander Jacobs cutting the top of Radion. Still fastest on the track so far, 2:21.2. A full second ahead, almost a full second ahead of John Dudley in the Lambo. And third so far is Alessandro Farace. But as I said, this is only practice. The times will need to be set in qualifying. So we'll see where we end up in. After 10 minutes of qualifying, that will start in about 2 minutes time. There are some new names. This is one of them. Usama Knani in the Toyota Hypercar. Simon Tikalovic, can't quite see, in the 83 Ferrari. Of course, Le Mans winning Ferrari. Livery, the yellow Ferrari. That's a new name on the list. I think the rest in Hypercar are names we already know. Do we have any new people in LMP2? Yeah, we do. Jude Neville sounds new to me. Forgive me if I missed you before. The rest is, well, not new in Amigos, but maybe new on Thursday. Kyle Oosthuizen. I don't think I saw that name on the list in the championship. And then in GT3, I think we have only people we have seen before. So while Wagner Marquez is still out on track, the clock is counting down, 15 seconds to go. This will probably be his last lap in practice before we go to qualifying. Qualifying will be in the solo format. So everybody will have the track to themselves, but at the same time. So I will be switching between the cars who may be on the same part of the track at the same time, but they will not be hindered by each other for qualifying. That's the fastest, most efficient way, and I guess the most honest way. Not the most realistic way, because, well, you don't need to cut through traffic, but at least you get a chance to get a free hot lap while Marquez does a little bit of a slide there. A free air for the hot lap, and I think there goes the practice session. On to qualifying. 30 seconds to go until qualifying starts. We'll see who does what. I know that Sander Jacobs is always out quite quickly, so let's keep an eye on him for the moment, and then we'll be switching between the drivers. Right, so people seem to be driving while my game is catching up. Oh, just when Sander got out of the pit box, I switched to Aaron Holloway. Aaron Holloway, second in the championship at the moment. Going up Eau Rouge and Radion on his outlap. Some cars are still in the pit, probably sorting out their setups. About 7 cars have not gone out on track yet, but that will change soon as Holloway makes his way up the track, or down in this case. No name left onto Pouhon. Also present today, Jeroen Jonge in the yellow banana Mustang. Gotta love the sound of that car. Let's see if we can get any closer. There we go. If the sound is too soft, let me know. I can probably crank it up a bit. Alright, so seems Aaron Sparks is back in the pit, probably made a mistake. Chris Tedder is, I think, still in the pits. So who will be on their first flyer the first? Probably one of the hypercars, either Holloway or Marquez. Let's take a look where Marquez is. Yep, onto the bus stop. So we'll be starting his flyer lap while the Seagull flies overhead. Start of the flyer of Wagner Marquez. Others have also started their timed lap. Obviously, only the second lap, that may mean that the tires are not up to temperature quite yet. First LMP also on the lap. Oliver Ewig with quite a lot of sparks being thrown. So a very low ride height of the car. At least on Camel Straight, where the downforce is obviously the largest with the highest speed. Ewig currently second in the championship in the 65 Orica. First sector times are coming in. John Dudley in the pink Lambo, also in Pouhon at the moment. Naturally aspirated V10 engine. No, that's Pouhon now. I'm sorry. Left, left. Nice bit of action camera work there. Glowing brake discs for John as he goes to Piff Paff. And the first times are on the board. Aaron Holloway, 2015. Wagner Marquez, 2001. 1.5 seconds almost between these guys. Looks like Marquez has got a fast setup today. Lucas de Deugd currently 2016 in third position. There's Lucas in the Porsche. Lucas was just telling me before the race that he was feeling better and better in the hypercars. Obviously driving the BMW on Mondays, driving the Porsche on Thursday. And he told me that the Porsche is a bit more tricky to handle. Might also be the setups, but still. So let's see if he can keep it between the white lines today on the grey stuff. Currently fourth, Simon Tikalovic in the yellow Ferrari 2020. Looking steady. And the first GT3s are also posting time. Sander Jacobs fastest so far to 21.5. Jeroen Jongen to 22.9. So there's a 1.4 second gap there. That's big. But it's only the second lap, so let's see what the third lap or the second timed lap will bring. Second position just taken by Paul Venter in the Lexus RFC. Obviously, it's not what we want. While we wait for the new lap times coming in, Chris Tedder just... Oh, didn't get a livery yet. Sorry for that, but there's no way for me to load deliveries in between or during a session, I should say. Chris in the Toyota, just not, he's disguised as a Porsche for the moment. Will be corrected for the race, no problem. P4 in LMGT3, Bart Janssen in the black BMW, Sander's teammate, so to say. Although they have the same car number, which is a bit confusing, but we'll sort all that out once the custom liveries get implemented correctly. 4th position for Bart at the moment. Looking further back, who has not set a time. We have Sean Schutte, who's also, well, without a livery. This is an LMP2. No time set at the moment. Also no time set by Steve Wilson in the Ferrari. Maybe this is the moment he does set a time. In 296. Nothing yet. So probably we'll have to wait another lap. Alessandro Farace in the red and white BMW. Does have a sector 1 time, so but it's a bit slow. So I'm guessing that he... Well, maybe it's not so slow. No, it's not. It's a 38.0, which is quite fast, I would say. Let's see. Oh, that's an off track. That will not be a valid lap, I think. While Jeroen Jongen has taken 2nd position before in front of John Dudley, but behind Sander Jacobs. Half a second between them at the moment. Between Sander and Jeroen. John Dudley just bumped down to 4th place by Paul Venter. Back to the front, we take a look at Benito Luis in the 2023 Peugeot. If we can take a good look at it, there it is. Benito currently 5th on the board. 2018. Not close enough to Wagner Marquez this time, I would say. These guys were close with Aaron Holloway before. Wagner now in 1st. Holloway 3rd position, so 2nd row. Luis behind Lucas de Deugd by 2/10. Bit of a lock up there. 1st position in LMP2 now taken by Dominique Giese, who drives the hypercar on Monday. Obviously a bit slower class here now, but basically a much simpler car than the hypercar, the LMP2 Oreca. It just has fuel, it has a brake pedal, it has a gas pedal or an accelerator. That's it. You need to watch your fuel, you need to watch your tires. But that's it. It's quite fast. Not as fast as a hypercar, but definitely faster than the GT3s, although not in the corners. But once we get up to speed, the LMP2 Oreca is quickly off into the distance compared to a GT3. Talking about GT3s, new fastest lap for Sander Jacobs to 20.7. That's 1/10 ahead of Jeroen Jongen, who also improved. Only 1/10 between these guys. Jeroen Jongen was telling me before the broadcast, whoa, big slide by Sander there. Does not feel like the fastest way to set a lap. Jeroen was not feeling too well. He was going to take some medicine for his headache, I think. I hope he did. But it's not influencing his time at the moment, his performance. 2nd at the moment, while qualifying time has expired. Who is still driving? Jeroen is still driving. Is he improving? I cannot see that at the moment. Oh. So if you're watching, give me a shout out in the chat. If you have any questions about the race, about the cars, about the Amigos Racing League, let me know. I'll try to answer them as best I can. While we watch Jeroen Jongen still out on track. Well, outside the track, I should say. So that will be an invalid lap. Will Sean Schutte set a lap? He is in the LMP2 class, as you cannot see at the moment. He's quite a ways behind his competitors, the fellow competitors. Nope, that will not be a valid time, so I guess no improvement there. And that will be the last of them, I think. Bart Janssen is still on the lap. I think he will be the last. Two cars out on track, Jongen, but he did not improve. Bart Janssen aiming for that fastest time. Really hustling that BMW, and he was 6th and remains 6th because of a invalid first sector. So, qualifying done. We'll move on to the race session in a moment. And let's see how the grid will look. Well, you see it on the left side, I would say. Wagner Marquez, Chris Tedder, Aaron Holloway, Lucas de Deugd. That's the two first starting rows. Obviously, the classes are now split for the start. First two rows in LMP2. Dominic Giese, Kyle Oosthuizen, Britt Baptiste and Adam Locke on the first two rows of LMP2. And the first two rows for LMGT3. Sander Jacobs, Jeroen Jongen, Paul Venter and John Dudley. Let's see where we end up. Everybody getting ready. While we listen to the birds whistle at the Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Again, if you just joined, we are racing the Amigos Racing League Thursday night championship, the Road to Spa. And look where we are. We are at Spa, so that means we're at the last race of the season. Race number 5, multi-class, hypercar, LMP2 and LMGT3. While we wait for everybody to grid, there's 2 cars, 4 cars missing, 3 cars missing, almost underway for the last race of the season. My name is Peter Kasbergen, or in English, Peter Kasbergen, if you wish to pronounce it like that. All cars on the grid, so we should be getting going momentarily. There's the counter down to 0. Engines started and we are off for the warm-up. Well, not lap, but procession. Let's put it that way. Hypercars all going into place. We have the LMP2s followed by the GT3s. Hypercars now into the bus stop. Marquez and Tedder on the first row, followed by Holloway and De Deugd. Marquez with the white Peugeot, Tedder with the black Toyota. Waiting for the green light to get on the accelerator and start the last race of the Amigos Racing League Thursday night series at Spa. Here we go. Lights out and away. Oh, and a really bad start by Chris Tedder. He stalls the car somehow. I don't know how that happened. Lucas de Deugd taking advantage. Ooh, getting squeezed out by the Peugeots there. One LMP is the victim there. We have Marquez, Holloway, De Deugd and Luis. 1, 2, 3, 4. Luis now passing De Deugd. So 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we have in LMP2? Kyle Oosthuizen, Britt Baptiste, Jude Neville, Adam Locke. Already challenging for the first Corner after Camel Straight. Side by side here, the LMP2s. No worries there. What do the GT3s do? Sander Jacobs leading, Jeroen Jongen and John Dudley. 1, 2 and 3, all safe through the first couple of corners. One victim was Dominique Giese in the LMP2 who got bumped out, I think, by one of the hypercars. He's now in the GT3 field trying to make his way through. Has to be patient, has to be really patient not to touch any GT3s. Goes on the inside here, makes the Lexus go wide. Working his way through the field. On the inside here, of Pouhon. Dudley looking in his mirror as well, but that made him lose some momentum. There's Dudley, there we are. Alessandro Forace taking advantage, now on the outside. So Dudley has the inside. Forace needs to tuck in behind, but goes wide. Dudley goes. And there the position is lost, and that's it done. Although Forace goes through the gravel. Oh, lots of people going through the gravel. Guys, we just raked it. Please leave it where it is. Anyway, Forace ahead of Dudley. Dudley seems to be in trouble because the Lexus of Paul Venter is right behind him. On the inside now. Will he go for it? Stays on the inside. Oh, just... Oh, well, everybody going wide here as well. We go to the bus stop. Forace. There we go. Alright. So, battles. We are looking for battles. What do you have here? We have Aaron Holloway, P2. Followed by Benito Luis in the Peugeot and Lucas de Deugd just right behind. While we have Marquez in the foreground being in position 1. Holloway and Luis de Deugd cannot quite follow, it seems. Still there, but barely hanging on. Last lap, Benito did move up. You can see the gap as it is at the moment, 3/4 tenths. Luis really putting the pressure on Holloway, but he's been there before, although he does seem to be overdriving a bit. Is this enough momentum lost for Luis to take advantage? Holloway pushing Luis to the outside. That's the long way. Leaving the space. Luis not later on the brakes than Holloway. Has to tuck in behind. A bit of a lock up again. But no change there. Oh. Alright. We go to LMP2 where we have Jude Neville in P2. Right behind Kyle Oosthuizen and also behind him Adam Locke in P3. So the top 3 close together here. Followed by P4 and 5, Oliver and Sean a bit further back. While we also have a hypercar that has lost some positions. Dorazio in 11th position in hypercar, but 16th overall in between the LMP2s at the moment. Not sure what happened there. But he's trying to make his way back forward. While the gaps in LMP2 do seem to have settled a bit. We have Steve Wilson on the tail of John Wilson, who's right behind Dean Ellico. Ferrari, Aston and and Ferrari again, I think. Let's take a look. Oh, McLaren, sorry. Ellico and the McLaren, of course. So, bit of a battle, but not too close at the moment. Let's go back to the battle at the front. Take a look at Lucas de Deugd, where... Yeah, he is still hanging on, though. That might also have something to do with the fact that the guys ahead are fighting, or at least trying to attack and defend. The Deugd getting closer to Louise. Doing a good job at the moment. P2, 3 and 4 in hypercar close together. Also, a bit further back, Chris Tedder had a really bad start. Not sure what happened there. Trying to make his way back forward behind Giles Holloway at the moment. Side by side, Holloway covering the inside. Tedder, well, on the brakes at the same time. Holloway closing the door, rubbing his racing and spinning the car. Holloway just a bit too enthusiastic, trying to defend from Chris Tedder, who now has Christian Hall in the Lambo on his tail. Oh, well, we look on the inside. Who is that Toyota dive bombing turn 1 there? And pushing the other Toyota wide. Is that Knani? Yeah, that was Knani. A bit enthusiastic as well. We'll have the stewards take a look at that. He does have the better line there through Radion. Side by side with Holloway on the outside. Probably will make this stick. Holloway looks on the inside but decides to stay behind Knani, who is now in P8. Meanwhile, Adam Locke right beside Jude Neville in P2. LMP2. Together into that corner. Normally doesn't work, and it doesn't. Both of them spin out. Both of them spun on track. Yeah, just the slightest touch. Oh, and Neville doesn't get the car turned. Has to do a 3-point turn. Oh! Oh my god. Yeah, it's a bit messy, but he gets going, Jude Neville. I don't know if there was another victim there. Giese doesn't also seems to have lost some places. So we just saw that. We just caught that battle. Luckily we did. Let's go back out front where Lucas de Deugd is putting the pressure on Benito Luis. Luis keeps locking up into the bus stop. That will not help his tire life. Obviously we have a 1-hour race today, so there will need to be a stop, but I don't think new tires will be needed. But if you keep locking up into that corner, and locking up into more corners, that might necessitate a tire swap after all. The Deugd keeping a bit of a distance to Radion, not to get caught in the dirty air, lose too much downforce and spin off. And meanwhile Christian Hall is trying to get the position back from Knani, but tucks in behind, not close enough at the end of Camel Straight. Everything, well, in hypercar still quite close together, with the exception of P1 for Wagner Marquez, 6 seconds ahead of P2 of Aaron Holloway. So Marquez is in a league of his own today. In a league of his own. Meanwhile, John Wilson getting right up behind John Dudley, who is behind Dean Alico. So this is a nice battle for P4 in LMGT3. Let's focus on the middle of the group. Dudley. Wilson having a bit of a bad exit there out of turn 1. Lost a bit of ground. Dudley now closer to Alico than Wilson to Dudley. Oh, Dudley goes... Well, that's track cut for sure. It looks like he's taking the penalty points. To turn down the engine sounds a little bit. Still, the fight goes on for P4 in LMGT3. At the head of the field, we have a 2-second gap between, there it is, Sander Jacobs and Jeroen Jongen. Jongen in the Mustang. Making some noise. 2 seconds behind Sander Jacobs. Meanwhile, Carlo D'Orazio is trying to get himself ahead of the first LMP2, which he does just now. So everything is a bit more organized as we go along. We have one LMP2 in the pit. Yep, Jude Neville, he stopped racing. Retired. Also in the pit is Paul Venter in the Lexus, who also, I guess, experienced some issue and has left the race. So 2 DNFs at the moment, 1 LMP2 and 1 GT3. Meanwhile, Lucas de Deuk still within a half a second of Benito Luis. Porsche versus Peugeot. Lucas de Deuk smells blood. And again, those lockups from Luis. And now we have GT3 traffic. Did catch Benito Luis out a bit. And de Deuk, I think, was spooked a bit by Luis slamming on the brakes a bit harder. Or at least not accelerating early enough. Again, lockups. He is pushing. De Deuk is following without any lockups. So maybe he'll build on his tire advantage a bit more if Luis cannot get his brake lockups under control. That seemed like a bit of a shortcut that de Deuk took there. Trying to get into the slipstream and out of the GT3's way. That's Farace there. So I guess they are catching up to the leaders in LMGT3. Getting ready to lap them. Yep, there we have 4, 5 and 6. Ooh, this is getting hairy. Let's see if we can take a more of a wider view. The Aston has to let everybody go. There goes the fight with John Dudley in the Lambo. De Deuk is trying to capitalize. Right under the rear diffuser of Luis. I guess the main thing here is not to make any mistakes. Oh, that was close, but no banana. De Deuk getting through unscathed. While the sun is going down on Spa. Meanwhile, in 5th and 6th position are... Ooh, Tedder boxed in there, and then Tikalovic was boxed in, so they took turns getting boxed in by the McLaren of Alico. Again, headlights turned on as the sun is going down. Light is going dim. Oh, late braking there by Tikalovic. Tedder manages to stay ahead, but only just. Meanwhile, Farace, LMGT3, P6, putting pressure on John Wilson in the Aston Martin. Farace, a bit of a wiggle there, getting out of La Source. La Source. On the inside, Farace, the BMW. Yeah, manages to get ahead. Who's behind them? Oh, Farace, that's a big track cut. Does he take the penalty? Doesn't seem to be lifting. Toyota Hypercar getting through. Farace takes the penalty. Moves to P5. At least the penalty points. Not the penalty yet. But the penalty points. Looking towards LMP2, where we have Nathan Warren in P6, following Dominique Giese in P5. The gap is 0.8 of a second. Well, a bit larger now. 1 second. Battle for P5 in LMP2, but it's 1.1 seconds, so no immediate danger for Giese. Looking at the LMP1, I would say hypercar battle between Tikalovic and Tedder. Tedder trying to hold off Tikalovic in the yellow Ferrari. Into La Source. A bit of a lockup for Chris. Whoa! Almost lost it there, Tikalovic in Eau Rouge. But he's joined now by Osama Knani, who takes the inside. And we know what Knani does in corners. Well, yep. A bit of a dive, bit of a touchy. Let's keep our eyes on these guys, because I think we have a battle on our hand. Lock up for Tikalovic. Also really pushing, because he sees Knani coming from behind. Knani is quite aggressive in his overtaking maneuvers. I think Tedder is off the hook for now, because Tikalovic has to look in his mirror to see what Knani does. Whoa, goes wide there, Tikalovic. Onto the grass. And has to let Knani go, who locks up again. Probably too much grass on the tires of Tikalovic. Has to let him go. These guys are on the edge and sometimes a bit over. But they did manage to keep their cars in one piece. Let's take a look at Adam Locke and Sean Schutte. Locke is gaining on Schutte. Oh, wrong one. Here we go. Well, we can go inside. Let's do so. Adam Locke in the LMP2. Trying to make his way past Sean Schutte. 0.8 seconds behind. Some LMGT3 traffic. That's the beauty of multi-class racing, of course. Weaving your way through traffic. Let's see what happens. Full throttle. Bit of a coasting phase there. Not sure if he... Ooh. Yeah. Was quite a bit faster into that corner. Gets out from behind the Aston Martin. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap between his throttle and his braking. I'm not sure if he is saving fuel, but could be. Oh, well, we see in the back a, I think, Ferrari. Oh, that's not the right camera. This one is. What was that Ferrari doing? I think it was one of... Yeah, it's Lego. Matthew Lego spun on La Source. Has gotten going again. Not sure if he has damage. P9 in LMGT3 at the moment. Matthew Lego. While we have 40 minutes remaining in the race. See if there are any fights on the track. Sean Schutte behind Oliver Ewig. Purple LMP2 behind the yellow one. Also followed closely by Adam Locke. Three-way fight here. Alico in the way. 3 LMP2s. Locke on the inside. Takes a look, but oh yeah, spooks Schutte a little bit. Can he stay on the outside here, which becomes the inside for the next corner? Yes, he can. Side by side through the corner. Better line for Schutte, who stays ahead. But now is Locke, well, locked to his car, I was going to say. Under his car, almost. Has to go to the outside. Has to take the long way. And still behind. Braking, both braking at the same time. Oh, no touchy please. That was a bit of a touch. Nothing too scary. Bit of a tight turn there for Sean Schutte, but this will cost him time. Locke is really on his tail right now. Really putting the pressure on. Better line through to La Source. Side by side. Down to Eau Rouge and Radion. Schutte still on the inside. Still has the right of way, I would say. Locke tucks in behind. Has to get a good exit out of Radion. Onto Camel Straight. Making full use of that slipstream. Tries to stay in as long as possible. Then get out from under. And now he's on the inside and has made the pass stick. So P3 for Adam Locke. Well, we get less and less light on the track. More headlights turned on. Meanwhile, this fight's still going on. De Deugd still putting pressure on Louis. Louis obviously struggling with the braking of the Peugeot 2023. 9X8. And a bit of a lock-up there for De Deugd. And also, again, a lock-up for Louis. Little touch by De Deugd there on the front. No big harm done, I would say. Meanwhile, in LMGT3, Sander Jacobs is out in front on his own. 8 seconds, almost 9 seconds ahead of Jeroen Jongen. Who is again 9 seconds ahead of Bart Jansen. So again, an all Dutch 1, 2, 3 podium for in LMGT3 with almost half of the race done. Still a long way to go. Still half a race to go. While we saw the BMW of Sander Jacobs going into the distance. While we have Christian Hall in the Lambo, just behind Simon Tikalovic. Tikalovic took a tumble. Well, at least lost his position to Chris Tedder. Tedder now 4.5 seconds ahead of Tikalovic. Christian Hall, however, 7/10 behind. The Lamborghini SC63. Lock up by Tikalovic. Goes wide in Piff Paff. Gains 2/10, loses 2/10 to Christian Hall, who himself then goes to the gravel and loses 1/10. So this is a bit of a battle going on. Slowly getting closer to each other. I think Hall has a bit of an advantage here on average lap time or speed, I would say. This is the battle for P6 in Hypercar. Oh my god. I was talking to a muted mic. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. I didn't see the light. I think I'm getting the message now. No, I don't. Anyway. Sorry, guys. I was muted. I'm sorry. I was following Oliver Ewig on his escapades, I would say. And I didn't notice the red light was on. Anyway. We have probably Marquez made his pit stop. Holloway now in the lead. I'll have to make a pit stop as well. I don't know if Marquez made a pit stop because he had damage or an incident. Didn't see that. Didn't catch that anyway. Anyway, we have a couple of DNFs at the moment. Giese DNF'd because I think he got collected by Oliver Ewig not being aware that he didn't have a rear wing. Yeah, sorry, Clive. I was talking to a muted mic. That's my fault. I'm sorry. I was telling lots of stories, lots of comments. You never heard a thing of it. Anyway. I'll try not to mute the mic when I have to cough now. Because I'm afraid I will forget to turn it back on. Anyway, we have a fight. We still have Lucas de Deugd. Right behind Benito Luis. Luis still, I don't know, maybe has some issues braking. Let's see. Oh, not here. Yep. Lock up again. Not sure how he's keeping his tires alive, but I guess that's what's keeping Lucas in the neighborhood, as we say in Dutch. Right behind him. Solid drive by these guys so far. Well, they have to make a pit stop. Just like Marquez did. Did Marquez have that extra speed because he went away? He started the race not on a full fuel tank. Did he have to take more fuel than the rest to get to the end of the race? Marquez in P7 at the moment. I didn't see any incidents, but yeah, the gap suggests that it was a pit stop. Just not sure why. Anyway. Leader in hypercar, Aaron Holloway. P2, Benito Luis. P3, Lucas de Deugd right behind him. LMP2, Kyle Oosthuizen still out in front. He's now 33 seconds ahead of Britt Baptiste, who is again 17 seconds ahead of Adam Locke in P3. Sander Jacobs leading LMGT3 in the BMW M4 GT3. He is 6.3 seconds ahead of Jeroen Jonge. Jeroen Jonge is a bit faster over the last couple of laps, but not enough to catch Sander. 20 minutes on the clock. 6.5 seconds between these guys. Third in LMGT3, Bart Jansen in the other BMW. 18 seconds behind Jeroen Jonge at the moment. Before, Dean Ellico driving a solid race as well. 11 seconds behind Bart Jansen. We have John Wilson in the AMR. 11 seconds again behind Ellico. Lego in the Ferrari, who we saw spinning in La Source. And then Dudley, who span in Piff Paff, where he's arriving just in a couple of moments. He's in P7 at the moment. That's the last of the driving GT3s. The rest has DNF'd. What do we have here? Sean Schutter getting closer to Nathan Warren? Question mark? We have pit stops for the top two in LMP2. Also, John Wilson in LMGT3 is in the pit. Well, does that mean that Nathan and Sean also have to pit? Nope, not yet. There we have Baptiste coming out of the pit. Just ahead of these guys, but on colder tires, I would say. This will be an interesting battle. Oh, here we go. Manages to stay ahead of these guys. But this is a three-way fight now. Let's see what happens. Side by side. Who blinks first? Schutter goes past Nathan Warren. Chooses not to get entangled, so to say. Meanwhile, Lucas de Deugd still behind Benito Luis. But if he looks in his mirrors, he now sees Chris Tedder within 2 seconds. There he is in the background in the Toyota. Getting closer and closer. We have 16 minutes on the clock. It's about 8 laps. Can Chris get close to these guys and even challenge for a position? For a podium position as it stands. I do think these guys need to pit though. They will have to pit at some moment. Oh, Lucas taking a look outside, inside. Lock up by Luis. Still manages to get the Peugeot turned in. Some GT3 traffic coming. Know which of the BMWs that is. Jacobs or Schutter? Probably Jacobs. No, not Jacobs. Or Janssen, I would say. Yep, it was Janssen. Back to the Deugd. Chris Tedder now 1.1 seconds behind. This is going to be a three-way fight as well. Oh, and we have a spin in the background. Is that Holloway again? Yep, and he's now lost his rear wing. But this will be funny to see. Yep, there we go. You also lost your front diffuser now, I would say. Nope. Yeah, okay. Interesting way. I hope he doesn't cause too much havoc when he gets back on the track. So far he doesn't. Chooses to go the rally route. Stays out of the racing line there. Chooses to go back on track. Crabbing. Yep. Spinning. Yep, this is getting dangerous. Yeah, pit stops in hypercar. Holloway in the pit. De Deugd in the pit. Luis in the pit. Chris Tedder stays out. He's now first. P1. Ooh, don't touch the wall there. De Deugd still behind Luis. So we have Chris Tedder in first position now. He will need to make a pit stop. Or can he fuel safe to the end? I don't think so. 13 minutes to go. That's quite interesting. But even more interesting, Wagner Marquez is now 6 seconds behind Lucas de Deugd. He was 2 seconds ahead of Holloway. He's now, let's say, 13 seconds behind Holloway. or 12. First Tedder, then Holloway, Luis de Deugd. So Wagner Marquez from P1 to P5, and I would say, let's say Chris Tedder from P5 to P1. But Chris Tedder will have to stop. I don't think he can make it to the end. That would be kind of hard to do, I would say. So let's see. Oh, we have a pit stop. Sander Jacobs has made his pit stop. He's now in P3. 24 seconds behind Jeroen Jongen in the Mustang. Went to the gravel there. I don't know. Jeroen Jongen, is he coming in this time? Bus stop. Here we go. 44 Mustang. Yep. Pulls into the pit. 1 lap later than Jacobs, it seems. So we will keep an eye on Sander Jacobs. Where will he end up? He's behind his teammate Bart Jansen. At least for this race, in terms of livery. Jansen will probably also have to pit. Who's there behind? That's Holloway in the BMW. Trying to make the pass on Jacobs, who leaves the space on the outside. So, Jacobs. Onto the straight. Jeroen Jongen still in his box. Jansen goes into the pits. Back to P3. Sander Jacobs. Trying to get ahead of Jeroen Jongen, who is there behind him on pit exit. So, order restored. Sander Jacobs ahead of Jeroen Jongen. Being, I think, passed by Tedder at the moment. Oh yeah, that's Tedder. Here comes Luis. 3 wide. Down the middle. Everybody tucks in order. Lucas de Deugd in the back. Wagner Marquez behind. Jeroen Jongen getting hounded by Marquez. Oh, does that... Yep, that goes well. Jongen made up some time. Was 5 point something seconds behind Jacobs. And now is 3 seconds behind. So he did get closer on the pit stop. Stopped 1 lap later. Normally that's, yeah, I don't know how many percent. 4%, 5% maybe on this track of virtual energy. Which is about 2 seconds. So that could be the time he won by... that would be a bit much. Or 1.6 seconds. Well, anyway, he gained some time. Marquez is now on the back of Lucas de Deugd. Goes to the inside. De Deugd takes the racing line. Marquez doesn't dare to leave it out there. Seems to be quicker though. De Deugd has lost touch with Luis a bit. It's now 3 seconds behind. Almost 4. Being chased by Wagner Marquez in the Peugeot. Marquez quite a bit faster, I would say. Ten seconds different in the last lap, but that was, I think, the out lap after the pit stop of De Deugd. Still ahead though. Marquez trying to close that gap. Trying to get close to De Deugd. Lost a bit of time there. Going into Eau Rouge Radion. Also, one explanation of the gains that Jeroen Jongen made to Sander Jacobs could be that in the Monday race, Sander Jacobs, his fuel calculator told him, well, gave him basically 1 lap too little, too few, too less, too little fuel. So Jacobs may have taken a bit of an extra margin now, costing him some time refueling. And Jongen maybe didn't. Again, inside look by Marquez, who goes wide a bit. No, he doesn't in Piff Puff. Still behind Lucas de Deugd though. has not made it through. Will he go for the dive at some point? De Deugd just driving his normal racing lines, not defending too much. Marquez needs more overspeed to get past. Looks on the inside, nothing to be done there. Speed is too high here. Oh, Lucas has a bit of a lock up. Rear wheel lock up. Which gives Marquez the tow down to Eau Rouge. Down Camel Straight. Still 4/10. Doesn't feel like it's enough. Nope, it's not. Oh, and we have another crash. Is it Holloway again? Yep, it is. Giles Holloway lost the wheel. Maybe that's not the best way to try to finish the lap. If you are missing one wheel, let's see if we can get another view of that Peugeot. No, we can't. Wrong side. He tries to get going, which is admirable, but a bit hard to do when you don't. I think it's the right front that's missing. Digging into the gravel. Yeah, this looks to be quite terminal. Yeah, it's the right front that's missing. It's not the best way to get you out of a gravel trap. It's maybe a better idea to retire at this point, I would say. Otherwise, driving the rest of the lap with 3 wheels will endanger a lot of other cars. Bit of like driving without a rear wing, as we saw earlier from Oliver Dewey. He made it back, but not without hitting some other cars, at least one. I saw. Can't really remember correctly. Holloway trying to get out of the gravel trap with 3 wheels on his car. Meanwhile, we still have Marquez behind De Deugd, so nothing changed there. There must be a damage display somewhere telling him that he does not have a right front wheel anymore. This will also not help the balance of the car. Well, the hashtag never give up just got a whole new meaning by Giles Holloway. But this is not going to end well. And even when he does pick up speed, look, a left turn will be quite hard to do, I would say. It's only one wheel that's turning. Yep. Well, okay, let's go back to the fight here. Marquez still behind De Deugd, who is now really close to Benito Luis. So either he made a mistake or has some issue. Maybe with his tires from all the lockups, you don't know. De Deugd in the middle. Right behind Luis. Can he make it past this time? Whoa, gets really close on exit. You see Luis really struggling with the car. We have 3 minutes on the clock. If De Deugd wants to make it happen, it needs to be soon. Multiple lockups again by Luis. Does the Deugd get a good exit? Good enough. The straight line speed of the 2023 Peugeot is still really good. Downforce maybe not so much. The Deugd taking the short way. Will not lift. He needs to get into the toe. Close behind. As we've seen for a while now. He's keeping it clean though, but Luis is struggling massively. Massively. Oh. Trying to keep that Peugeot on the track. But Lucas is keeping his nose clean. One more lap to go, maybe two, but Holloway is only 5 seconds ahead, so one more lap after this. There's Holloway on 3 wheels. Oh, he tags the Deugd. Oh, that ended... That could have ended in disaster. Holloway did tag the Deugd. Luis flashing his way through traffic. Does not want to be held up. He will not... Oh, goes wide there. Oh, it has to take evasive action. The Deugd side by side. Luis is on the inside. Oh, yeah, he has to go behind. But will he try to brake later? No, he keeps it clean. Lucas the Deugd passes. Luis, who was a bit unlucky there with the LMGT3 traffic, had to go wide. Lost him a bit of momentum. And now is, yeah, the Deugd looks to have a more stable car at the moment. Luis is fighting the car. Cannot get it slowed down. Cannot get it turned in the way he wants it to. Probably ruined his tires. The Deugd needs to keep it clean. Meanwhile, we have P1 in hypercar. Aaron Holloway. Piff Paff. Down to Blanchimont. He is going to end this race in P1. I am curious what happened to Wagner Marquez. Something happened there. And I did not catch that. That was during, I think, the stuff that happened with Hewitt. Aaron Holloway, winner of the last race. Road to Spa, Amigos Racing League Season 3 on Thursday. P1, Aaron Holloway in hypercar. P2, Chris Tedder. Had a really, really bad start. Made his way back up from behind. P2 for Tedder. And, yes, he did it. Oh, well, we have a crash in the last... Was that Luis and Marquez? Luis, yeah, was passed by Marquez. While Lucas de Deugd was taking P3. Marquez passed Luis on the last chicane. I don't know if that was a legal pass. There was some contact there. We'll have the stewards look at that. Meanwhile, LMP2, we have Kyle Oosthuizen, P1, just finishing. In P2, there's Adam Locke. And we have Britt Baptiste in the P3, who still needs to do a bit of the lap. Meanwhile, Sander Jacobs in the BMW trying to finish his lap. Pouhon needs to keep Jeroen Jonge behind, who's now again 2 seconds behind, so he is faster. But maybe Sander is managing his pace. Piff Paff does things really carefully. Jeroen Jongen 2.3 seconds behind in the Mustang. Meanwhile, Brit Baptiste has finished in the LMP2 in third position on the podium. Sander Jacobs arriving at the last chicane, the bus stop for Sander Jacobs, who takes first position in the race. Second position behind Sander Jacobs, Jeroen Jongen in the Mustang, finishing the race in second position. P3 has already finished, Bart Jansen. Jeroen Jongen obviously quite happy with second position, turns off the traction control and spins the Mustang and almost beaches it. There we go. All right. And that's the end of the session. Ladies and gentlemen, this was Season 3 of the Amigos Racing League. Pending the post-race stewarding, I cannot give you the final results of the championship. But do know that that I enjoyed watching and commentating the last 3 of 5 races of this season for Amigos. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Sorry about the technical glitch with the microphone. Well, not technical. It was technical in my head, that glitch. But anyway, sorry about that. I hope you still enjoyed watching the race and listening to the stream with me. My name is Peter Kasberg and I wish you a very pleasant evening. And I hope to see you again in some future race in the Amigos Racing League. We still have one race on Spa to go on Monday, 18 minutes. So do join us there for that race. Although there will not be a stream by me because I will be racing. Thank you very much. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Yo.